Assalamu alaikum, I'm Farrukh Nadeem with a new tutorial. Today's tutorial is quite different from the usual routine. As always, I try to bring you a technique that is new for you and rarely used by others. Normally, when people are working, they use the routine features of our software that everyone is familiar with, but very few people know about the hidden features. So here I'm taking a sheet 36 inches by 20 inches with a thickness of 7.75 millimeters. And for the middle, I have set the data to maxis. First, let's try to understand what the tool is. So it becomes easier for you to create the design. As soon as I go to the tool path here, we have a tool available called the sorting tool. Now this sorting tool path, which is a float and tool path, I would first like to brief you about what exactly this floating tool path does. Recently, in our WhatsApp group called CAD Campy, I noticed from some cases that there are people who use cartoons even with single lines and do designing with them. Since I've been a bit busy, I haven't been able to reply to you all on the forum. But then I thought, let me make a proper video for you so you can understand it and you can work accordingly as well. So today we are working on this task. Normally, when using the air height unit, we use the v-carve engraving tool path. But today what we're going to talk about is the floating tool path. First, let's understand what happens inside the floating tool path. The plot type creates a ramp, and we have three types of ramps. Ramp over complete length, ramp at start, and ramp at start and end. So basically, the ramp that is created, let's say you want to give a certain depth to your line. Here we are marking a depth of 0.25. Now this depth and the ramp, meaning the total length, the ramp is being made over 100% of that length. After that, if you come to ramp type, there are two options, linear and smooth. I'll explain a bit with the sketch so you can understand. For example, if we draw any line here, I've drawn a line. Now, if we want to create this line with the float tool, basically, the position you see right now is its top position. If I look at it from the side, you'll see if I look at this line from the side, suppose this line goes straight from here to the top, and if I add a ramp to it, what will the ramp look like? Look, this is the ramp, and from here, the depth that is being created is this depth, the depth you set here. Now, what is the ramp depth? That's 0.25. Now, the way we studied the first option, here if I talk about this first option, then the ramp will be like this. Now, if I use the second option, like here, ramp at start, this ramp at start will create a slow ramp from the start to the end. But the second one, ramp at start, if I talk about ramp at start, look, I'll draw it again. This is its top line. Now, if I look at this top line from the side, this is the top view. If I look at it from the side, what will happen? The line will come from here, and after a certain distance, it will start to descend. So you should understand that if your tool is coming from here, this is the material's top level. Now, the tool will come in this form up to here, and then it will go straight. And at the end, it will leave it. Whereas the third option, ramp at start and end, what does it do? Look, it will go like this, then like this, and then like this. From here to here, the depth created will be the same 0.25. So we have studied three conditions, number 1, number 2, and number 3. We have seen all three conditions. The ramp features in float are made in three ways. In float, the first is a ramp over complete length, which creates a ramp over the entire length of the line. Ramp at start means you can set the ramp at the start as you wish, i.e. you can set the ramp length as you like. If you know for sure that the line you're using should have a ramp of a certain number of inches or millimeters, then you can do that. After that, ramp 100%, yes, then the ramp will be applied over the full 100%. Now, if you use ramp at start and end, what it will do is apply the ramp in such a way that both sides, so it will lift it up to 100%, just like this one, and as we saw earlier. Now, after that, when we talk about the type of ramp here, in the type section, we have this option. So, the ramp type, this ramp that is created, if I add curvature here, you'll see that it forms a curve here, and it will also form a curve from this side. That means this ramp will bring the cutter in like this and lift it up like this. One is the completely straight one, and the other is with a radius. First of all, I think we should do an exercise. A small one, let's see how that exercise is done. I'll close this tool from here. After closing it, I'll go back to the drawings. Look, here I've drawn a circle. I'll make it 2. Its diameter will be 4. Now, what you have to do is, with the node tool, take the node tool here, come to this and cut the vector here. Cut the vector here as well. Cut the vector here too, and cut the vector here as well, converting it into 4 segments. See, now there are 4 segments. This segment, this one, and this one, 4 segments. We drew a line from here to here and arrayed this line. Setting it at 0 position, I'll make 4 items. 4 numbers in 360 degrees. So now we have this. Now here we made this small sketch. I'll close it and go to the tool path. So here I selected the floating tool path. As soon as you select the floating tool path, here I'll set its depth to 0.25. The tool I've selected here is a V-bit tool, 120 degrees with a 25 mm diameter. And now I'll come to the first practice. Ramp over complete length, calculate this. We had already selected the objects. So as soon as I preview it, see what it creates. I'll exit this. Now I'll come here and change it. I'll set it to ramp at end and start. See, it started from here and brought it to 0 at the end. Started from here, brought it to 0 at the end. Started from here, brought it to 0 at the end. In whichever direction I used the line, it created the ramp in that direction. I'll calculate it again, closed it. After closing, just calculate this last one. In the preview, first I'll reset the preview and again preview all. Now notice that it created the ramp at a specific position. Now, if you want to see its exercise, where we design different tools, and create them one by one. So here I'll keep 3 or 4 options side by side for this, so you can understand them properly. Suppose I'm keeping 4 options here since we worked on this. You've seen the exercise. Reset it and preview it, and after that I'll come back to it in a bit, okay? Reset it and preview it, then I'll come back again. Reset it and preview it, and after that I'll return shortly. Bring it into 2D view. Here I select this object, and after selecting it, look at this, the group in the middle, and group it. I have ungrouped all 4 lines. In fact, just select all of them at once and ungroup them using Ctrl+U. Now I've grabbed this object, and after selecting it, I'm going to use the Float tool again. Now first, apply the repeat start here and set it to linear. Earlier we had set it to smooth. Calculate it and preview it. Now you'll be able to see the difference in the shapes of both. Here the shape is coming out smooth, but here it's showing steps. There are steps here. As it gradually rises here, the width decreases, and here you can see the smoothness and the curve. There's a curve here, but not in this one because we kept it straight. This one was in linear form and the other was in curve form. Notice the difference. This design is set to linear and this one was set to smooth. After that, we have the next option available. Let's try the next option. Here I've selected this object, closed it, and now I'm going to use a new tool. Here I've set repeat start within and calculated it. As soon as I preview it with the visible tool, I've set repeat start within here and calculated it. See, now it's the same drawing, everything is the same. But here, the design has changed in other words, its look has changed. But if you notice, there's a step appearing here. If you look closely, this is also going, that is also going, and this is also going. Now this, let's leave this here as well and move on to the next design. At this spot, I'll repeat the process. I'll take this length again, and here it's the same feature, but this time I'll smooth it. Calculate and preview the visible length path and preview the visible length path. Viewers, as you saw, we used 4 different options, and this is how our design was created. Now, if we want to repeat this design, let's see how we'll do that. First, I'll move all these designs to one side. I've only picked up the last design and placed it here, here, and here. Now I'll take its pattern repeat. The tool paths will appear. Last time we used the same command, so now I'll double click this command again. Just like last time when we used the same command, I am selecting all the objects, holding shift so that this one stays selected and this one below also stays selected. And look, a very beautiful pattern is about to be created. As soon as I calculate it, reset the preview and make the preview visible here. So look at this. You can create a pattern for it in a very beautiful way. Now, whether you make this pattern in this form, like the one made here, or you reset everything, let me preview all, okay? Since I told you earlier to recalculate them, I recalculated it here, and that's why I took it like this. Come to the preview, reset the preview, and do preview also look here. I think 4 of its lines have either dropped down somewhere or have been deleted. So in this way, whichever pattern you like from these, you can use it to create this design. So this was a small technique. In the same way, I'll show you another feature here, and with this very feature, along with the C toolpath, we're going to create another design. I'll create a new file from here, create a new file here, and as soon as I do, we'll keep the same size as before and click OK. Now let me make things easier for you by showing you how to place a graph on it. Although we can also use grids, I'm showing you with a graph because I want to explain that you can use a graph as well. So if you need to create a graph, how would we do that? So look, I've placed one line here and another line there. First, I select this rank, go to the pattern, copy the ray, and now the gap I want to give between them along the x direction, I want to set it to 1.2 or maybe just 1. And since we made it 36 inches, the total number of columns here will be 36. I am setting the row here to 0, copy it, and see it has come up to here. Now in the same way, the line I drew on the upper side I draw it either on the upper side or the bottom side. So just like before, now look, I don't need columns here. We'll keep only one column. When we use the ray, since the total sheet is 20, the gap between them is set at just one place. Now I set this side to 0 and on the other side I set it to -1 so that it moves downward. I set it to -1 and now for the number of rows I set it to 20. Copy it and see, this way we have our grid. Creating the grid has become very easy for you. Now what you need to do here is select all of them, move them to a new layer so that the selected object is moved. Here I am creating a layer for the grid. Give it any light color because it needs to go underneath. See, this line has gone underneath it. Now what we need to do here is take a line from here to here Then you need to array this line here. Now, one very important thing here is that you should group your lines. So it's essential that your lines are all separate from each other. See, these 4 lines are all separate. Now, I have selected these objects and look here, come over here. I am drawing a line on one side from here to here, and then again I am drawing a line from here to here. Now, why did I draw this line? Look, this is what we have created in total so far. Now, when I array this line will shift forward and the one above will come down. So there won't be any duplication of the line here. Now I have arrayed it. The object size came out to be 2 inches by 2 inches, and the gap between them I set it to -0 so that it comes to the downside. So look, if it took 2, then the number of rows it will make will be 10. And its columns will be 18 because it's 36 inches. So at 2 inches each, there will be 18 columns. So in this way, I set the gap to 0, 0 here and copied it. Look at this. If I ungroup it, this is the position we get. I'll turn off the grid for a moment. So viewers, you can see that this design we created with the help of the grid has now appeared here in a pattern. Now, this line that's been placed here, I'll copy this line, paste it, and very carefully place it on this edge, because that line was not there here. Similarly, we don't have a line here. I have this whole set, I copy and paste it and leave it at the start and end, whatever it is. Now we have through outlines. If you want to stitch all such lines, by the way, you also have its layer. Let's go to the toepath. It is Mahara, the Flute Toolpath. Stitch the toepath, and whatever you are going to design here, I now call it rump and linear thorpor. I said linha go road. We collate it with alley. In the correlation, there is toilia. You did hen altar. So see, I made a altar pure here. Double click on it. Here, I am setting its depth to 0.125. That means if I reduce its depth, then reset the preview and preview it, you can see that the design looks better in. Other words, its depth has been reduced. Now, you can see that there are sharp steps appearing in it. So what I'll do is, come here, apply smoothing, calculate, reset, and preview it again. Now look, the texture has been created in a very beautiful way. With the help of this pattern, we have created a texture. Similarly, if you want to increase its depth, then as I mentioned earlier, you can set it to 0.25 or whatever value you assign. The depth will adjust accordingly. Now here, beta has provided it. If we change the bit here to 120 degrees, for example, I'll set the bit to 90 degrees instead, select it and have it calculate, reset the preview now. See, its depth has increased. Well, it depends on you and what you want to do with it. What I wanted to show you is that here it starts at 0, then smoothly transitions and returns to 0 here. And at this point, the depth, whether you set it to 0.25 or 0.125, whatever depth you choose will be created here. And when you make this in 3D, it will result in a very beautiful design. This is the basic technique I have given you. With this technique, you can create any thingy kind of design, whether it's curved like the one I just demonstrated, you can make it curved, or however you like, very easily. And in a beautiful way, you can perform these designs using a small and simple program. Here, we change its color. Let's go to the preview. In the preview, I go to the global fill and change its color. You can use any color to see how it looks, and you can set it in any situation you want. So this is the preview which you can send to the customer on WhatsApp. After setting its appearance here, let's say I set it to Z0. And from here, I bring the color a bit towards yellow, or maybe a bit more towards a wood color. So you do it here. Save the preview image. As soon as you save the preview image, I save this file here, and you'll see that the file has been generated on our desktop. Look here, with good rendering, this file has been generated here. So basically, the toolpath I showed you, you can use this toolpath anywhere to create textures. For example, there's a big trend these days for the top of the equal table. You can also make a tabletop with this. First, you create the entire graphic like this. And if you want to add a circle or any floral design in the middle, you can easily do that. When you look at its effect, it becomes three-dimensional. So the discussion happening in today's WhatsApp group was about someone who uses the v-carve tool in 3D with a single line without using a double line. Basically, this is that technique, and it is being used right here in Aspire. Of course, we have countless other software available in which we can do this kind of work where you move a line up and down in the Z direction and the look of the design keeps changing, or you can introduce variations in its width. But within Aspire, this is a really beautiful and excellent tool we have. Be sure to practice this, and I definitely want to receive feedback from you all. I feel very happy, mashallah, when you all remain extremely positive within the group. Our greatest good fortune and your kindness is that everyone is sharing designs with each other in a very positive manner, giving each other advice, offering opinions. And for me, the greatest honor is that everyone is showing a lot of respect to one another. Whoever faces any issue here, I keep listening. And since my schedule is such that I can't always try things out for you, but I do listen to your messages directly, and my team also listens and gives me feedback. So Alhamdulillah, it is very encouraging and a matter of great happiness for us that everyone is fully cooperating with and supporting each other. In the same way, just like yourselves, and only add good companions like yourselves to the group, so that as many people as possible can continue to benefit from each other. I'm gaining a lot from you all in this group. Many good things are being discussed here. There are quite a few people, mashallah, who are professionals and are working, and there are also those who are beginners and definitely need guidance. So keep running the group in a good way. This is an educational platform for you all. Trust that you have, please take care of it. Take care of your new companions, those newcomers entering the field. Support them and bring them along with you. God willing, we are going to make this field wood design programming so easy that anyone can come and start this business. Please remember me in your prayers. As for the animated logo I had you all make, be sure to create it. Don't take out a little time for it. After making it, you must participate in this group. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.